In the aftermath of a senseless killing at a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas, the facts remain brutally straightforward. Karmelo Anthony stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf in the heart, ending a promising young life over a petty confrontation that never should have escalated. A jury saw through the noise, deliberating less than 3 hours before convicting Anthony of murder and sentencing him to 35 years in prison. Yet for race hustlers and professional grievance peddlers, this clear-cut case of violence has become another opportunity to invert victim and perpetrator, fueling division where accountability should prevail. Austin Metcalf, a standout athlete and twin brother to Hunter, died in his siblings' arms after Anthony plunged a $13 Walmart knife with a serrated blade into his chest. The incident unfolded at a routine school-sanctioned event in April 2025. Anthony, from a rival high school, had no business in Memorial High School's tent. Told to leave, he responded with provocation. "Touch me and see what happens." A shove from Metcalf met with lethal force. No racial animus drove the trial, as both sides acknowledged. Witnesses for the prosecution included black individuals, and the jury featured Hispanics and Asians alongside whites, hardly the monolithic setup claimed by activists. Yet outside the Collin County Courthouse, protesters chanted, "Free Karmelo," branding the verdict racist. On social media, some celebrated Metcalf's death in grotesque fashion. Democratic Representative Jasmine Crockett, in her podcast, injected herself into the tragedy, suggesting black women live in daily fear the Metcalf family could never understand and implying she might have stabbed someone under similar pressure. She called for real conversations about race, ignoring the evidence. This rhetoric does not honor the dead. It exploits them. The defense's self-defense claim collapsed under scrutiny. Metcalf, around 200 pounds, was not beating Anthony into submission, as some narratives falsely suggested. Anthony carried the knife to a track meet, an absurd and dangerous choice in a place meant for competition, not combat. Graphic evidence of Metcalf's injuries, including the precise wound to his heart, left the family fleeing the courtroom. Anthony himself offered no testimony, and post-verdict, he could not even meet his victim's brother's eyes. His family's immediate pivot to racial framing, through spokespeople like Dominique Alexander, set the tone for the circus that followed. This pattern reveals a deeper sickness in our discourse. When personal failings, poor impulse control, a refusal to de-escalate, carrying a weapon into a youth event meet tragic consequences, the response from certain corners is not reflection, but deflection. Anthony's supporters transformed a young man who made disastrous decisions into a symbol of systemic oppression, even as the system delivered justice with remarkable speed and clarity. His mother pleaded for mercy in court, yet outside, relatives shouted, "Racist, bias." The contrast exposes the disconnect between private sorrow and public performance. Media and political actors who amplify these narratives bear responsibility too. They erode trust in institutions that, in this instance, functioned as they should. Evidence presented, jury impartial enough, verdict swift. Claims of legal lynching or inherent bias ring hollow against the facts, including Anthony's own actions and the mixed jury composition. Such rhetoric does not advance justice. It cheapens real instances of prejudice and burdens communities with perpetual victimhood. Personal responsibility stands as the antidote to this poison. Young men, regardless of background, must learn restraint, foresight, and the value of human life. A track meet should never become a crime scene. Families on both sides now face irreparable loss, but only one bears the title of victim. Austin Metcalf's life, cut short, deserves mourning without the distortion of racial grievance. As Scripture warns in James 1:19-20 KJV, "Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, slow to speak, slow to wrath, for the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of God." In a culture quick to anger and eager to racialize every conflict, this truth calls us back to discernment. True justice demands we reject the hustler's playbook and affirm that no one stands above accountability. least of all those who wield violence when words or retreat would suffice. Anthony's conviction upholds that principle. May it serve as a sobering reminder amid the noise.